What's up, everybody? For those that are here, shout out Late Night Owl Gang. Good to see y'all here. We're back in MSG in New York City for the final game of day 2 of the showcase. 2 less games today, but still a whole bunch of fun seeing them besides the Wisconsin game. I've already said enough about it, but this game should definitely not be anywhere near it, especially with how talented both of these teams are. We're talking about preseason number 3, Michigan, and preseason number 21, Oklahoma. And both these teams are super experienced. Oklahoma, I'd say, is more so homegrown compared to Michigan, but you know, you gotta acquire talent the way you know how to. And Provo dug deep into the transfer portal to get his new guys. Killian did a little bit of the same, but the new guy at center is from the high school ranks. Colton Pike is somebody to watch out for in the future. Definitely has all Big 12 potential, maybe even All-American. We'll see. Still a lot of time for him to develop into that. But with that said, at the very least, this game should be a banger. What's up, everybody? Commissioner Daniel here as your play-by-play commentator. And I don't know if I can say right by me, but I guess at the very least, now this man is... how do I say it? We had to switch out equipment. We had to give him like a clip-on mic or something, you know, Bluetooth type of deal. You know, we invested good money into this. Just don't tell Reagan it's from his bank account. I've got Coach Killian synced up to us. What's up, Coach?
How you doing tonight? You know, I'm looking forward to this matchup. You know, I know what I was going into. You know, when I wanted to, you know, get in contact with Coach Provo of Michigan, you know, I wanted a good challenge in the preseason showcase. But, you know, here tonight we're going to look at the 2 small positions, you know, for Michigan. Forgive me as I might say the wrong last name, but Zaman Behoinen and Marshall Mathers for Michigan, and Timmy Turner and Ryan Thomas for Oklahoma. You know, those 4 guys, you know, you're gonna go at it here tonight. And then it's gonna be interesting to see how Colton Pike goes up against Xavier Blake at the big spot. You know, as a freshman, you know, you're in the starting 5. You know, I wanted him to make a huge impact here in the season. You know, see what he can do as a freshman. But, you know, going against a great guy in Xavier Blake here tonight is going to be a huge, tall factor and a huge role here tonight for Colton Pike here tonight.
In either case, there's a lot to look forward to, especially considering, you know, how do I say this best? Trying to figure out what everybody is going to be able to do, you know, within the format of the new look, although it's not a whole lot different, just simply a new starter at that center spot, who I think is going to be very, very good for you guys, and I expect a lot from him. Or actually, wait, no, what was his face? I think DJ Washington was on this team last year. Or no, probably not. I don't remember anymore. But it's just so late. I'm trying to keep up, but most importantly, the backcourt is back. I remember that for sure. Timmy Turner and Ryan Thomas, like you talked about, they face a great challenge, and you mentioned Zaman Bohannon and Marshall Mathers, but plenty of other talented teams, you know, on this Michigan squad and also on yours. But I think it's safe to say that we can definitely get going with this one here from the Garden. There we go. I'm excited for this one. Jordan Brand versus Jordan Brand kind of game, as Cooper Taylor is now on this team. Yeah, that's right. He grad transferred from Oregon. Starting lines for Michigan: Zaman Bohannon, Marshall Mathers in the backcourt. Up front, Rick Johnson, Xavier Blake, and Cooper Taylor. For OU, it's Timmy Turner and Ryan Thomas in the backcourt. Up front, Daniel Johnson, Colton Pike, and Darius Sinclair. Who are you personally most excited for amongst your team in terms of the impact that they can bring to your squad this year?
You know, I'm excited to see, you know, what my two captains can do for Timmy Turner and Ryan Thomas. You know, they are the veterans in this team. What they can lead for Colton Pike, you know, get him right, get him going. You know, and I'm also excited to see what the bench can bring into this game here tonight.
You do have a deep bench, and you can go to them for sure. Well, 3-ball Thomas, bang! That's a great way to open the game. But yeah, you do have a deep bench, and Blake is, excuse me, geez, Blake is going to the free throw line, and as Daniel Johnson committing that foul right there. All right, there we go. Yeah, Xavier Blake's a big talent for sure, but I also think that you have the personnel to actually, you know, go to be able to maybe match up with these Michigan bigs, because they've also got plenty of depth as well. I think these are two really good rosters. I give Michigan a slight advantage, of course, per the rankings. So that's a beautiful alley-oop.
Holy moly!
That's Darius Sinclair. Beautiful finish, actually, all things considered. But
it's like ketchup and mustard out here.
Ketchup and mustard. It's, you know, I understand it. Oh, that's Colton Pike for you right there, bro. Oh, that's elite. 5-star freshman. Going 5-star. Whole lot of new faces at Michigan, though. Marshall Mathers, one of them. He transferred over from Florida. And Bohannon is way off. That's one of the few returners on this Wolverine squad. Oh, Daniel Johnson rips it from 3. No go. Oh, what a board. Oh, jeez, what a block. Man.
You're going to see a lot of that from tonight, you know. A lot of the height is going to go to Michigan. But, you know, I don't want to be biased here, but, you know, my team's got a lot of fire and a lot of will to get it done.
For sure, so far this is a good start for your squad here, as Michigan is going to call the timeout early on. Okay, that's something I definitely didn't expect. But can you talk a bit about what has worked for you so far?
I mean, it's, you know, Colton Pike, you know, getting the rebounds, you know, getting the shots going, but also Ryan Thomas with that big open 3 to start the game. That's huge. That's going to get the team going, you know. You need those shots to fall in. And you just need the team to follow through and just keep on the attack, because, you know, Michigan they're in a state of dark and, you know, a lot of depressed fans, you know, going back-to-back national championships and not being able to pull out the win. You know, you face a lot of good teams there, but, you know, they're hungry for a championship, and, you know, this might be the team to do it, but, you know, they got to figure something out.
I mean, it's such a strange place to be in, right? Where it's like nobody has made 2 straight national championship games, but it's also just deflating to have lost both of them back to back. Oh, that's a deep 3. That's a big deep 3. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think. It feels like a blessing and a curse at the same time. Oh boy, what a block! That that was a rude one. And more free throws. So far, the Oklahoma's popping off to start this game. But
I mean, there's not a lot I can say because this is amazing to see, you know, this kind of start. We're up 10 right now. But, you know, I can't get too biased because, you know, this Michigan team is so well, you know, Provo went really hard in the offseason. He got Marshall Mathers from Florida. He was a really good asset. He got Xavier Blake. He just got so many good key superstars in this team to where you can't really take out Michigan. You know, they're a really good team.
They are indeed. Oh, and one right here for Marshall Mathers.
Of course.
Michigan and their big guards. They had Jay Nash for a while, and now they get 1 year of Marshall Mathers. Good free throw by him, as Michigan is in an early hole. But I mean, we've heard a bit about your displeasure of how how's that a foul on Timmy Turner?
How is that a foul? How is that a foul?
What?
What? Okay. What?
What in the world?
Shouldn't that have been a jump ball? Just.
It's high up, but those apparently don't exist in this universe or something. That I don't know what to say. That's crazy.
I mean, this is Hazy Benny's, you know, time to shine. You know, he's gonna get the rest of the first half to play, so this is where he's got to make the best of it.
Hazy Benny is an outrageous name. If you know, you know. Oh, look at that. He got points. Oh,
hey, he knew where he wanted to go. He knew where his heart wanted to be.
Oh, bro. That's an outrageous shot right there. But I was going to ask you, over the past couple of seasons, you've been vocally displeased with your non-conference scheduling, but this time around you got yourself an actually pretty respectable schedule outside of the Big 12. I mean, do you want to talk more about it?
I mean, yeah, you know, if you look back at our schedule, you know, throughout the seasons, it wasn't favored with the committee. You know, they always looked at that, and, you know, they always said, you know, that Oklahoma team deserves to be in the bubble, you know, 2 times in a row for past 2 seasons of March Madness. But, you know, finally we have a respectable schedule. You know, we got a game against Clemson, we got a game against Florida, we got a game against a Big East opponent in Villanova, and a game at Louisville. You know, those games are going to be so exciting, and, you know, I just hope, you know, we can pull off the win. You know, that can give us a big boost going into March Madness. You know, the committee can finally respect us and, you know, finally say something about our team and not just say, oh, that team just belongs in the bubble, because they didn't have a really hard schedule and they didn't really improve during the Big 12 play, because, you know, last season we went 6-7 during the Big 12 play, and that just wasn't good enough. So, you know, hopefully, you know, with this kind of schedule, that can improve our minds, improve some great gameplay, and just overall just make a great impact this season with our schedule that we have.
I think it'll definitely serve you well in the long run. The Big 12 is still, I think, you know, pretty stacked. That's a lead shot right there. But you've been able to improve compared to last season, in my honest opinion. I think it will show later on, and I am optimistic about your guys' chances of competing for a Big 12 title. I don't think you have the highest chance of winning it in this situation, but you'll definitely be competing for one, and I think that's a step up compared to last season. Oh, it's a good three-pointer. So very limited opportunities, though. However, in Big 12 play, you only get, like, what is it, 13 conference games? It's outrageously low. I don't know why it's like that, but you know, at the very least, every single game is going to mean something. A whole lot, honestly. So, how does it feel to have this kind of squad that you feel the best about in terms of being able to compete for, you know, top of the Big 12, and which could even translate to the national level?
Yeah, you know, I think it's going to come down to if our bench can really provide the help that if our starters, you know, get tired or, you know, they need a rest, that our bench can step up and, you know, make a great impact into the Big 12, because, you know, you got the likes of Kansas in there, you got West Virginia that's still dominant. Kansas State might be a sneaky team. You know, Oklahoma State or in-state rivalry, you know, team I don't really like that much. And you also got Texas. You know, Creed's got Texas going well. So a lot of depth in the Big 12. So it's going to be interesting to see if our bench can really step up and get us feeling right with, you know, if our starters need to come out.
That's something that absolutely has the potential to pay off, you know, in a great way, and I could definitely see that happening for you guys, especially if you're able to, how do I say it, play smoothly and play error-free. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it is expected in a way amongst teams that have the kind of continuity that you guys have. And what has it been like to have, you know, a consistent roster for the most part for the last couple of seasons?
Yeah, you know, consistent. You know, when I first came to Oklahoma, you know, I really had to fill in the shooting guard and point guard position with Ryan Thomas and Timmy Turner, and thankfully they followed me from Alabama. You know, they immediately made an impact on the team. But then, you know, following season, you know, still had the same team, you know, Ryan Thomas and Timmy Turner, still the same big guard, and, you know, they were always able to form well together, but, you know, when it came to March Madness, you know, able to get through the bubble, but then when it came to first round, you know, wasn't able to get it done. So now you kind of look to, you know, getting Hatesy Benny. You know, he was a good pickup this season. You know, we got Colton Pike. You know, he's going to fill in the center position. I think that's a really good pickup. And then also Creed Harrington. You know, he's going to be right behind with Ryan Thomas. You know, he's going to fill in those shoes when he's able to leave after this season. You know, he's going to be a good draft pick for any team that's going to be able to get him. But yeah, you know, just able to stay with this program, you know, figure out what I need to do, you know, switching up game plans from time to time is just big, and see what, you know, needs to happen with this team, and, you know, get them right, you know, get them back to what they were with, who was the, Wells, as he was the old Oklahoma head coach, you know, got them a national championship. And he was able to provide, you know, for the national championship and able to do things right with this team. So I'm just praying, you know, I'm able to get them a national championship that they are dying for after a long period of time and long period away from the national championship.
Seems like for this core, the opportunity truly is here and now, if at all. Odds are stacked against you, but it's really just about a majority of the country. But if there's any sport where you could defy those odds, it is college basketball. So we'll see how it goes. And like I said, I think the best is on the way for this core. I don't know what it exactly looks like, but I think for sure at the very least, you know, you start thinking Sweet 16. You get there and you're playing with house money at that point. So we'll see how things go for you guys. I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic for you. The state of Oklahoma is actually in a really good spot. I mean, Oklahoma State looks really good too, and I know that's your arch rival, but what does that mean to you that the Pokes are looking extremely good too?
You know, it just proves that, you know, we have a good rivalry, and, you know, that rivalry can go from, you know, Oklahoma just sweeping the competition or Oklahoma State sweeping the competition, but, you know, you always know that it can go either way with the series. But, you know, also another rivalry is Texas, but, you know, we don't really worry about them too much, but, you know, this season we might have to. But, you know, Oklahoma State's always been, you know, circled on our calendar. You know, it's always been the game that we always wanted to play and, you know, always do well against. And, you know, we always want to prove to the fans that we still are bigger brothers to Oklahoma State, because I don't think Oklahoma State's even playing in this showcase because, you know, they seem scared to.
I think they just missed the deadline. That's all that really happened. And I'm reading the chat here. Coach Creed is piping up. He said, "Yo, Killian, I promise I'm owning you for the next 5 seasons." You know, screenshots are a thing, right? That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, 3-ball. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm just saying screenshots are a thing that can happen. So either way, receipts will be provided, one way or another. But, you know, I guess that's what Red River is all about, right? At least
yeah, you know, that rivalry is always beautiful and will always be remembered as, you know, Oklahoma just being the better program. It sucks that we only play one time a year and we don't get 2 games like, you know, the better rivalry of Bedlam of Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, you know. But I got 2/15 circled on my calendar, and, you know, it's at Texas, so Creed, you just better be ready, because I don't think you are, buddy.
Bro said, "I beg you to screenshot." Oh, I mean, honestly, I won't have to, because I'm gonna be able to see this back whenever I watch this this broadcast, because the live chat is always gonna appear when someone watches it back. So, you know, we'll be all right. Meanwhile, this game has been entertaining so far. Though you has held the lead for ever since the start of the game. Oh, that's an elite shot. Hey,
Casey Benny from downtown, corner 3.
Boy, that was something.
Never thought Casey Benny, of all people, would absolutely do that kind of 3 in a Oklahoma game. Would you have thought that? Would you thought Coach Killian would absolutely go after a player named Casey Benny?
Well, I didn't think that would happen until it actually happened. So, you know, there's that.
I mean, Coach Killian absolutely sniped him. You know, he saw that he didn't have many offers, and, you know, Casey Benny knew where his heart wanted to be, and he knew he wanted to play for Coach Killian because he absolutely loves him. That's why Last name is Benny. He wants to look up to me.
Hmm.
And absolutely wants to be me.
Casually leaving out his first name, I see. But you know, it's
yeah.
alright. One of the more interesting names in college basketball, in my honest opinion. You know, it's alright.
Taylor Gaines, God bless America. Please, for the love of goodness, do not have a Azuna type game for 1 for 13 in field goals. Please.
1 for 13. I still can't believe that happened.
How is that not a backcourt violation?
Honestly, didn't even see it. I looked down at my phone. Oh, that's a take.
Oh, so that type of game for you? That
Bro,
you're on your
bro,
game?
I am just... I was just checking something real quick. I'm watching. Oh, that's a crazy shot.
Oh my goodness.
Alright then. Pop off then.
Taylor Gaines, come back.
That dude isn't even really known for his shooting abilities, bro.
Oh my god.
Bro. Oh, that's...
Sinclair.
That's one way to stick with it. Goodness.
Sinclair's been, you know, proving his veteran instincts in this game. You know, he's been popping off. He's gonna get Colton Pike right. Hey, T. Benny, what are you doing?
Well, you were hoping that he'd be doing good work off the bench in relief for Timmy Turner. He sure is doing that. That's an unfortunate miss down there, though.
You know, we used to have Travis Ross on the starting lineup, you know, but we thought he would be a lot better. You know, as I seen him play, as I seen him grown as my 2 seasons with Oklahoma, we thought it'd be better to put him on the bench because, you know, we definitely thought, you know, Darius Sinclair moved to the power forward position and Daniel Johnson at the small forward position. So, you know, we thought, you know, Travis Ross can get that spark going with coming off the bench, you know, getting the team going.
Tell you what, every single player that you got on that team of yours has always got the opportunity to pop off.
God.
Bro.
Taylor Gaines.
They talk
My
about
goodness.
and talk about jumping out the gym. Man.
Oh my god.
Hey yo. Hey, this defense looking pretty good. Oh nope. And jeez.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yep. Yep. This is quite the impressive stuff we're seeing so far. And Michigan is on a cold spell right now. Doing a good job taking advantage of it, I will say.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't count out Michigan because they still have a really great team. And Darius Sinclair, I mean, good lord, he is being an absolute unit. I mean, without Colton Pike out there, he's just doing everything. You know, that veteran instinct is just coming into play.
We try to swat that to somewhere.
I mean, he's just right in the face, you know. Hopefully we get to see Timmy Turner do something here. I don't know if he's out there or not, but...
No, not on 2 fouls.
Oh,
that's outrageous.
Oh my god. Hey, Benny. Good lord.
Bro. He said, all right, I'm going to pop off. I'm going to pop off.
Michigan. I think that's Darius Sinclair's second foul.
There's been some impressive hoops so far by your squad.
Yeah, big switch here. Sinclair, Gaines, and I think that was Hazy Benny coming off the court. So now we're going to look at a new 5 out here for Oklahoma. So it's going to be interesting to see how Michigan can get around that because, you know, you got Ryan Thomas still out there, you know, senior out there, but, you know, you got a little smaller of a court for Oklahoma now out there.
Minute and a half left in the first half. OU has been leading this thing the whole entire time. They've got that mojo on their side right now. That's an unfortunate miss for Colton Pike. Michigan can close this thing well. They'll feel better about their chances later in the second half. That's a great alley-oop.
That was a beautiful alley-oop.
Officially a minute left. Wolverines with national title aspirations. Pike is going to the free throw line. And that's on Darnell. Bodied him up pretty well there. And we got some subs.
Nope.
Oh. Is that a Creed Harrington appearance I see?
Bang, bang, bang. Welcome to the court, Creed. Time to pop off, twin. See me. Let me. Oh.
Did he just airball that? Did
Colton
not.
Pike, you gotta be shitting me.
Colton.
I'm sorry, it's just one. It's just one.
Alright, he got right. There you go. He got right.
You know, 7 points for the first half for a freshman is beautiful.
It's pretty good. Can't lie. Oh, good bounce pass in. That's a beautiful shot.
Butler's got to throw his hands up.
Oh, 3 ball. That time, no. Shot clock is off. Here come the Wolverines. Oh, no way. Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's a big move.
That's Cruz Elias. And a timeout. Right before halftime.
They don't see that often.
No, not at all. But I guess it felt necessary.
Yeah, definitely. And see what Coach Gillian can draw up with, what, 19.5 seconds left here before halftime?
You got like around 20 seconds. Something like that.
I think, well, we got Harrington, Pike up there. I think Thomas has still been playing the entire first half, so, you know, maybe even get Thomas some rest minutes, you know, put Hazy Benny back in there. He's been having a phenomenal game.
It's definitely worth putting him out there.
Jesus.
Oh, that was close. 10
Yeah.
seconds. Oh, that's almost turned over.
Actually,
No, sir. Oh, Michigan's got some time. 4 seconds.
spin it
Bohannon for
around.
3.
Blender.
Oh,
Bang!
oh, and we're tied at halftime.
That was a great shot by Bohannon. You know, don't ever count him out. He is a great three-point shooter. You know, this is going to be a back-and-forth game. We are tied up after Oklahoma was leading through the most of the first half. I mean, all of the first half, and now it's tied up. So, going to be interesting to see how this game plays out near the end.
That right there, that 3-point percentage in the first half for Michigan definitely helped them get back on even terms with OU. Man, quite the electric finish to the half as we open up this second half. Another 16 minutes put on the clock. And it feels like a brand new ball game. 3 ball does not go for Mr. Slick Rick Johnson. All starting lineups are back out there now. Timmy Turner is back there. 3 ball, Timmy Turner, there you go.
There you go, Timmy Turner, you know. Those are the shots that he needs, you know. Once he gets that first shot, he gets warmed up. He will be a deadly shooter once he gets that first shot to go in.
That was a good 2 ball. Didn't see who scored that. Well, another corner 3, Thomas's time, no go. And that's insane. That's insane. Ball watching when you could have grabbed it.
I mean, they were watching that like watching their national championships go away.
Oh, bro. They don't want to hear that. That's a foul. Ugh.
Timmy Turner up to the line.
Indeed, Timmy Turner to the line.
Still
We haven't seen him for practically the whole game.
Yeah, you know, he's quiet through the first half. But he likes to make it up in the second half.
We'll see how it goes for him. We'll see how it goes for the rest of this OU squad with the main point guard back in action. No, that honestly should have been taken away from the Wolverines. I'm not sure how they still have the ball. That's a missed 3 ball. Good. Oh, Timmy Turner got the rebound. That's crazy. In the pike. Can't finish it off. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Yo.
Does Michigan not want the rebound? Because I've seen them, twice or 3 times watch that ball, and somebody from Oklahoma is always there.
I do not understand what in the world is going on with him. Oh, that's a big dunk, though. And a great answer right back. I wish I had a little bit more energy for this game. I apologize, folks. It's almost
all
4
good,
in the
you know,
morning.
all good. Hey, you know what? Make it happen.
We
You know,
do
we
indeed
might-
make it
We
happen.
might have screwed up it, but you know what? It's beautiful. This is what we call late night basketball. Welcome to, you know, what it used to be Pac-12 late night basketball. This is Legends late night basketball.
Yeah, indeed.
Actually,
Now Thomas. Johnson down to Darius Sinclair. Can't get that look to fall down. Played that possession a bit more methodically. But now here's a wild 3-point attempt that
oh my
goes
goodness.
for Marshall Mathers.
That's how dangerous Marshall Mathers is, you know. It doesn't matter who's on him. He's so good with the ball. It's just so hard to calculate what he's going to do.
He's a tough cover. He is. And again, going from Jay Nash to this guy is just quite the treat. Oh, 3 ball. Xavier Blake cannot go. Got the ability to shoot from deep. So he's got the green light from Provo to take those shots. Sinclair 2 ball. Got it.
And Michigan's got to do something because Sinclair has just been absolutely lights out against this Michigan team. They got to figure out what to do with him. Throw the double team. Throw something.
Still a close affair. After Michigan caught up, a corner 3 for Johnson. Impressive shot by the UK native. That's a good turnaround shot right there by Cooper Taylor, who used to be an Oregon Duck, and before that was at Louisville. Timmy Turner telling everybody to clear out for Johnson, but he misses that shot. And pass inside. Taylor is going to draw the foul on Thomas. Can't complain about the game so far. It's been fun. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, this game has been, aggressive defense. You see both teams throwing in the trap, throwing in the double team as they get through the court. And, these two teams are so physical and so dominant. It's just so close that, you don't know what's going to happen during this game.
Indeed the case. Still a 4-point game after that missed free throw. Still a whole lot of time, too. This is going to end up being maybe the highest scoring game of this of the showcase. Definitely one of the highest scoring games of the showcase.
What a contested shot. I mean, good Lord, Darius Sinclair, have yourself a day, bud.
He's been going off. That's a good off the glass and in layup.
These two teams are so good in the paint. Once they get rolling, there's no tell what they're going to do. They're just so good in the paint.
Indeed. 2 ball is off, rebounded by Taylor. One thing
Michigan's got to capitalize it.
Yeah, they do. They do with every single OU miss. Oh boy, that was almost turned over. Maybe it should have been, but that was a lucky break for the Wolves. And
Jesus, what the? Who was that with the ball? Please tell me. Please tell me it was Timmy Turner. Please tell me.
That was that was Daniel Johnson that was running out of bounds like that.
But who threw the ball?
That was outrageous. No. Oh, you're taking both your big men out.
Oh. This is a big switch. This is where Michigan's got to take over. I mean, you've taken out your two big men. This is where Michigan's got to play their best basketball right here.
Oh my gosh! Dude. What? Timmy Turner?
Oh, Timmy. Oh my goodness, obtuse Rutgers.
That's crazy. And Dan Hart's going to put that one in. Well, that block is outrageous. On a dude who's almost a whole foot taller than him. That's turned over. Excuse me, jeez. Oh, man. And no, sir. Blake gets the board. Mathers draws the foul on Turner. I think that's number 3.
These refs kind of let these two teams play aggressive basketball. That's where they're best at. And big substitution for both Oklahoma and Michigan. I think that was Gaines and Hart that came out.
Good first free throw by Mathers. And the decision to put back in the starters down low was a quick one. That's a botched free throw by Mathers. Not something you see regularly. Johnson.
Oh my God.
That was. He was out of bounds. I ain't gonna lie.
Second time almost going out. Spin move. Hurdle. Down to the first.
Somehow draws the foul out of that. He should have been called out of bounds again, but you know what? The refs are clearly having trouble seeing stuff.
Turner and Thomas come out.
Sheesh.
Hey.
And the Michigan has had their chances to draw this closer, but it failed to so far. That's a missed free throw. And both teams are not doing at the absolute greatest from the free throw line. Now here's Darnell trying to make a move. He gets loses the ball.
Oh my goodness, what a save!
Oh my.
Oh my God!
Oh boy.
Casey Benny, dude.
This guy is popping off. That's a good bucket.
But you know what's so interesting with Michigan is whenever Oklahoma scores, they're just right back in it. You know, they've always are able to keep this game close.
Yeah, they've been able to keep it close, but sometimes they should have been able to draw closer. Haven't been able to quite yet. Problem is they got to be careful with the ball here. They're making a whole bunch of weird passes here. I'm not gonna lie, and then he missed a shot.
Yeah, I mean Michigan is wonky passes, and they're just chucking up the ball a lot, and it's not able to fall in. You know.
Benny, oh boy. And a missed shot by Pike. That was just out of desperation. Try and save that moment. Less than 7 minutes to go. OU is still up by 4 here. In the Garden. Johnson trying to find his way in. The jumper is off.
I just, you know, not to be biased or anything, but it just looks like, you know, Oklahoma's just playing aggressive defense, you know, and just able to make smarter passes, but, you know, block shot right there by Michigan. Michigan taking it all the way.
Good take by Marshall Mathers. Yeah, she's so fast as well. Only a 1-possession game now. OU scoreless over the last 2 minutes. And plus, Mathers to Taylor. He's doubled. And he gets the ball poked from his grasp, but it'll still stay with Michigan here. Just look back at that explosive speed that Marshall Mathers used to be able to get to the rim like that as Cruz Elias now enters the game. And a whole bunch of other substitutions take place for OU as they once again bring out that starting front court.
Yeah, you know, it kind of messes up Michigan's game plan because, you know, they were so focused on the big 2 men, and now this game's tied up.
Well, they have their own big men coming off the bench, and they're pretty dang good. Bobby Anthony is one of those guys. Turner. Over to Thomas. Inside. Turner. Off the glass and in. Now,
2-point game.
Now it's the seesaw battle here. Trading blows. Or just giving the ball right up.
Michigan is just passing the ball way too much. They gotta draw a play up.
Look at Frost.
Oh my goodness.
Junior spinning
oh my
around.
God.
It's the great individual effort there with the help of a screen up top. Pass inside. Anthony. Cash money. Well,
Oklahoma right in their face, and just Michigan able to get that ball to fall in.
considering the last name, he should feel right at home. Pass inside for Dan Hart, off the glass and in. He turned to the shoulder that Xavier Blake was not expecting.
4 minutes left. Michigan, another bad pass.
Too many lackadaisical passes.
Oh my goodness.
Alley-oop. What a finish.
20
Lead is-
assists.
Lead is back up to 6 for OU. Blake, turn around, 2-ball, way off.
Holy. He just, I don't think he was ready for that shot. I don't think he wanted that.
Yeah, but he still forced it anyways. Now here's Thomas. Passes it inside for Hart. Oh, that's a block.
Boy, you can't do that when Michigan just has such a good paint scheme. You got to figure it out, and you got to get it away from it. But, you know, Oklahoma's still bringing that double team, and Michigan is just not able to get around it.
These terrible passes are just doing them in. Oh, that 3-ball could have done them in too, but still some life for the Wolverines.
3 minutes now left. Michigan's got to figure out something here quick. They're only down by 6, though.
Bounce pass over to Anthony, and he gets that one to go.
Slipped right through Frost's fingers. He was almost there to get the steal.
Every single possession now highly important. Another block. And a miss followed up by Gaines.
You know, it makes such a big difference when you take out Colton Pike and take out Darius Sinclair. Michigan, you know, able to get down in the paint and play more aggressive.
But Blake completely shanks that shot. He has not been himself in this game, or at least his Michigan State self.
Here in the second half, Oklahoma still with the lead.
That's a crazy shot. Or not a crazy shot, but that's a clutch one. A timely one from Dan Hart. 6-point lead with less than 2 minutes to go.
Oh, 6.
Wells from 3, got it.
Boom!
That's a timely shot. One possession game. Thomas turns it over. Torres loses the ball.
Oh!
Bounce pass
Oh
in.
my goodness!
And Blake commits the foul on Gaines.
I think that's his 3rd or 4th.
Oh,
And you know, that's huge for Oklahoma. They can get back in their 2 big men.
well, the rest of the starters for Michigan are back in as well. Taylor Gaines has been not great today. These free throws could definitely help ease the, I'd say, the tensions from not performing up to standard. He did his job there.
Darius Sinclair back in the game. This is huge. Oklahoma got their 2 big men back out there. And Michigan's got to be able to capitalize, you know, with those 2 big men back out there. No, but a rush shot, rebound, and blocked.
One more score, and this puts Michigan in a position where they virtually, how do I say it, need a miracle. Turner, oh boy. That could have done it.
Yeah, that's a big shot, and you know that just proves, you know, Timmy Turner could have a slow first half, but you know he comes in clutch when it's most needed, and you know this is a timeout for where Provo can get his guys going. You know, doesn't have a lot of time, but it's got to be quick.
Man. This has been quite the game.
I'd say, I mean, you know, it's hard for Michigan, you know, going back to back national championship, you know, a lot of players they lost in the offseason, you know, they got some good guys, but, you know, it's still deep in their mind, deep in their heart, you know, losing back to back national championships. So, you know, it's just hard, you know, being Coach Provo, and, you know, you got to lead your men in the right position.
Well, if they're gonna find a way to pull a miracle out right now, they gotta act fast, and that's not gonna help. I'm just looking at the situation here. Oklahoma has got numerous solid free throw shooters. It's one of those situations where you're putting the wrong guy at the free throw line.
And, you know, watching this game, you know, Oklahoma never really let off the gas. They were just hot from the start. Big three to open up the game, and they just never stopped. They were able to just capitalize this big dominant Michigan team. And, you know, when you look at it, it's, you know, a big thank you to the bench, you know, coming into play and, you know, not being able to, or being able to just adapt and to go against, you know, Marshall Mathers, Bohannon, and, you know, Xavier Blake, you know, big guys from Michigan, and they were just able to stop them and, you know, not being able to lose the lead.
Credit to this Oklahoma team for just staying firm. This was a game that they could have easily let slip away when Michigan made their runs, but credit to them, and the bench, like you said, showed up in a big way. And even though this is a preseason setting, it answers some important questions about OU and what they're capable of. My opinion on Michigan isn't changing, though. I still think they're one of the three best teams in the country. I still believe that they are the team to beat in the Big Ten. And I think it's going to take a little bit of time to just gel, but they'll get it. This is an extremely talented bunch that understands you know, the importance of playing well together to win. So they should figure out in short order. That's a deep shot that doesn't go anywhere, and yeah, I think we can call a lid on this one.
Yeah, you know, I was sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, it's huge for Oklahoma. You know, always being put in the bubble, you know, being doubted, being overlooked. But you know, like, this is a big win, and they got to take that win going into regular season, because now they have a harder schedule, and they got a lot to do, and a lot to play for. They got to prove a lot of people wrong, because you know what, a big win over Michigan in the preseason means a lot. You know, it's going to be to see how their season's going to go after this big win.
It's for sure something to build on, and something that they can hang their hat on, even if it doesn't count for anything. But at the very least, they can look back at their trip to the Garden and say that they took down the preseason number 3 team in the country. What a game by Darius Sinclair and company. Impressive stuff from the Sooners. But what are what are your final thoughts on this Michigan team, though?
You know what? It's only preseason. You know, Provo's gonna look at this game, gonna look at the tape, gonna figure out what needs to change. You know, maybe change up the game plan. Um, you still got a great core. Xavier Blake's always going to be there. Marshall Mathers is going to be there. It's just, you know, they got to have a big spark after, that's the big story of losing back-to-back national championship. You can't have that always in the back of the mind. You got to look up to this new season, and you got to be happy about what a great squad you have. So, thankfully this is only the preseason, so you still got a lot to figure out. But time is clicking, time is ticking, and seasons are right around the corner, and you got to figure out something big for this team. You can't have one small game slip away from you during the season, because that could be a huge factor going into March Madness. And you just got to be able to capitalize and do diligent and be good for the season when it comes to play.
I think both teams have a lot to look forward to. I think with Michigan, they're gonna have plenty of chances to get that chemistry going. Considering, I would say, the non-conference schedule that they have, apart from having to play Oregon in the Rose Bowl, honestly, is comparable to like schedules that you've had before. I'm gonna be honest with you, but so I'm not worried about them and what they'll be able to do to those poor teams before Big Ten play. But no, this was important for OU to get this one under their belt, especially with the unusually tougher non-conference schedule. So we'll see how it goes from there. But from here on then until the season starts, it's just locking in and making sure every single practice is a great one. So I hope to see great things from both of these teams. And with that said, the coverage for the Legends Showcase is done for today. We still have 6 more games left in the showcase as we come back tomorrow, or technically today, later in the morning. I might even push this to by an hour. I actually might do that real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna now officially have Temple versus Clemson start at noon. Then I'm gonna have Auburn versus Wake Forest start at 3 p.m. But the scheduled game for between number 7 Providence and Texas will still be happening at 9:30 tomorrow. And then we will wrap up the showcase on Sunday when we have Memphis versus UCLA at 12:30, and then we'll have 2 late night games. At 10 p.m., Tennessee versus number 17 Gonzaga, and then at 11:30 p.m., we end the showcase with Washington versus Baylor. So, not a whole lot left in terms of games. We got through the bulk of them over the past couple of days, so not a whole lot left until the season starts. It took 2 days to get through majority of those games. That's actually kind of crazy. But with that said, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in earlier on as well. Please go and get some rest now, because I know I'm going to do that, and everybody should. And whoever is able to tune in tomorrow for Temple versus Clemson, well, I'll see you there. But in the meantime, have a good night.